Did you know that in the depths of the Carpathian Mountains in Transylvania, Romania, the night watchman at Braun Castle places 3 extra silver candlesticks on full moon nights, a 700-year-old tradition born of the locals' undying fear of Vlad the Pisser III? In a basement in Brooklyn, New York, a group of young people calling themselves Neo-Kindred are using laser engraving technology to engrave mysterious 15th-century Hungarian runes on titanium pendants. What is even more shocking is that a survey report released by the Department of Anthropology of Waseda University in Japan in 2023 revealed that at least 237 organizations around the world are conducting kinship rituals, and 18% of the participants have a master's degree or higher. As moonlight shines through the stained glass of a Gothic cathedral and projects blood-colored crosses on the ground, we can't help but ask, why are humans still so obsessed with fangs and legends of immortality in an age when quantum computers can simulate the evolution of the universe? Are those pale figures wandering through urban legends at night an ancient echo of the collective subconscious, or a startling truth hidden in the folds of history? On the broken clay tablets of the ancient Babylonian epic of Gilgamesh, archaeologists have deciphered a chapter that has been deliberately erased. The child of the demigod hero and the night witch Lilith, who has the ability to sip the moon and live forever. This lost myth mirrors the account of Cain's exile in the Bible. When Adam's eldest son was branded with the seal of Cain for the crime of killing his brother, God's punishment was to wander into the earth, but never return to dust. The Jewish mystical book, the Book of Light, reveals even more terrifying details. In the 7th millennium of the Nord Desert, Cain met Lilith, who mastered the secret instrument of blood. The 13 children born by the combination of the two constitute the earliest clan system of the Blood Clan. Such narratives, which tie original sin to immortality, inject a profound religious paradox into vampire lore. They are both blasphemers and the embodiment of the curse of immortality. A Sumerian roller seal dated 2300 BC depicts the blood-sucking undead named Akimu, who roamed the world due to funeral emissions. Coincidentally, in the oracle bone inscriptions of the Shang dynasty in China at the same time, UNK was described as a special shape with red eyes and sharp teeth, and dry when drinking blood. Chapter 174 of the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead warns that the spirit of Akka, which is not properly worshipped, will take the form of a Seth messenger in the form of a bat at the new moon. On clay pot fragments unearthed in Corinth Bay, Greece, circa 5th century BC, archaeologists have discovered the earliest scenes of vampire feasts. The Lamia banshee is licking the neck veins of a young man with a serpentine tongue, and its image features are strikingly similar to the strigo in Romanian folklore 3,000 years later. This kind of archetypal convergence across civilizations is known in anthropology as the quantum entanglement of horror memes. When the Black Death swept through Europe in 1347, the Venetian physician Giovanni d'Agostino wrote in his medical records, "The patient's skin will show strange marble lines, and the pupil will dilate like a nocturnal animal before death." These medical observations became the standard for judging vampire signs in the panic of the public. In Hungary's Transylvania region, deep pits where people suspected of being infected were buried alive can still be seen, with some of the remains stuffed with garlic and ash stakes inserted into their chests. In 1493, the vampire expulsion order signed by Pope Alexander VI recorded a horrific case. Juraj Grubo, a shepherd from the Serbian village of Klakoja, returned 3 nights after his death to consume the blood of his wife and children. When the Vatican mission exhumed the tomb, they found the body ruddy, with half an inch of fingernails and unclogged blood in its mouth. This official archive became an important source of vampire literature in later generations. In the year of no summer in 1816, Lord Byron held a literary salon at his Geneva villa, giving birth to the embryonic form of modern vampire literature. In Dr. John Polidori's The Vampire, the aristocrat Sir Rusfan is no longer an ugly gal, but a dark philosopher of lethal attraction. This subversive setting resonated with the popular Gothic revival movement at that time, injecting the genes of melancholy aristocracy into vampires. The novel Dracula, published in 1897, hides a chilling prophetic quality. Stoker frequently dreamed during his writing that the Count of Eastern Europe taught the ancient occult, and 3 years after the novel was published, lead coffins engraved with mysterious symbols were indeed discovered in Romanian monasteries. What's even more bizarre is that in 2016, the Turkish archaeological team discovered in the cellars of the Edirne Palace the inverted cross ceiling ceremony that is exactly the same as the description of the novel, which was built 2 centuries earlier than the novel. In 1998, the American Porphyria Foundation revealed shocking data. About 0.005% of the world's population carried variant heme synthase deficiency genes. These modern-day Cains must undergo regular blood transfusions, and 17% of them develop severe photosensitivity reactions and gum tissue degeneration, consistent with the legendary signs of vampires. As the geneticist Linda Watson has pointed out, if we were to set the clock back 300 years, these patients would surely be executed as bloodlings. 1973 Highgate Cemetery incident in London. More than 300 citizens witnessed 2.3-metre-tall black-robed creatures suspended above the cemetery, causing plants to wither instantly as they passed by. An investigation report by the British Society for Paranormal Research, SPR, revealed that the radiation level exceeded the limit by 47 times that night. 2004 Puerto Rican vampire monster. An unknown creature known as the Chupacabra attacks more than 300 livestock, described by eyewitness Jose Melendez as having a humanoid torso and needle-like sucking vessels. The vampire mummy unearthed in the Siberian tundra in 2019. The remains of this 14th-century Tatar warrior contained a silver plate in their mouth and cast iron spikes in their chest. The archaeological team found undecomposed human hemoglobin when examining their stomach contents. On TikTok platforms, video views under the hashtag #VampireChallenge have exceeded 9 billion times. The Kindred Experience Hall in Shibuya, Tokyo, uses holographic projection technology to recreate the ancient castle of Transylvania. Visitors can wear heat-sensing devices to feel the subtle shudder of being sucked by blood. What's more intriguing is that in 2022, a blood therapy scandal broke out in Silicon Valley. A tech upstart regularly injected blood from teenagers in an attempt to replicate the legendary rejuvenation effect. Greg Rapp, director of the Center for Consciousness Research at Stanford University, points out that the contemporary obsession with vampires is essentially a collective psychological ritual to combat death anxiety. When biotechnology makes 150-year lifespans possible, we are creating a realistic version of the kinship ethical dilemma. When we swipe into a short video of a vampire at midnight, is the moment our fingertips slide continuing some ancient ritual? Are those pale faces looming in the urban neon an illusion projected by psychology, or a true manifestation of the dark side of civilization? Perhaps as Borges wrote in German Requiem, the most perfect immortality lies in the eternal pursuit of eternity by human beings.
Is the moonlight outside the window casting a figure on your curtains at the moment?
Check for the tiny red spot on the lower carotid artery. It might not just be a mosquito bite. Feel free to share your dark adventures in the comments section. But remember, when the bell strikes 3, never respond to the whispers outside the door.